to you. Hello everyone and welcome to the top 8 game from the UK Nationals. I am Ben and today we are watching Darren on the right, who you've seen in quite a few videos already, and Kevin, my local metamate, on the left. They're both playing Martel. Kevin is playing Martel Lion and Darren's playing Martel Kraken.
Good luck, Dan. Oh, well, I'm looking. I already know what's in my hand.
So Kevin has taken a mulligan here, and Darren has kept his hand.
Oh shit. Okay, yeah. Let's get going then.
So we've got the flops, and we've got Hotar and the Lanny Reducer against Varys, a Debit Scavenger, a Iron Island Fishmonger, and a Blood Orange Grove. So absolutely brutal setup there from Darren. Kevin obviously got a little bit unlucky with his mulligan. And this is going to be interesting. Is with Varys out from the start, how you got to learn to play around that, and that's not going to be something that's easy to play around. So just looking at first plots, Darren picks his very quickly. So we say Darren at this point has not lost a game. He came second in the Swiss because there was only 6 rounds. Technically should have been 7 with the numbers, but because of time restraints we couldn't. So Darren was joint top in Swiss but lost out on strength for schedule. So he's had a pretty strong day, to say the least. So Kev needs to be really careful here because with Varys, you just what do you do? Because you go too nuts with your putting characters out, you're just going to get them wiped off the table, unless you get lots of dupes with them. But at the same time, if you don't play your big characters out, you're just going to be, Darren can probably get his risk putting a couple of his characters out, get an advantage. It's not a great situation here for Kevin. So first plots we've got the long plan into the long plan. So both of them obviously wanting the other one to kind of go crazy and get lots of gold. So just deciding who first player is. Darren makes Kevin player 1, I believe. And they go into the draw. So let's see the Marshal. So guys, as I say, obviously, thanks very much for watching the video so far. So in the top 8, we've got 2 more after this. We've got the top 4 in the final. If you'd like to keep up with those, please like and subscribe to get the updates. Help me out. It's really appreciate you guys listening. I wouldn't do it if it wasn't for you guys. And yeah, we're if you're watching this sort of a few months down the line or whatever, it's all in a playlist, so you can go back and watch all the other rounds of Swiss. There'll be 8 games in total in this playlist. Sorry, 10 games in total in this playlist. So Kev just thinking, he nils the Reducer to put out a Reducer. So just noticing it's a lot quieter than the Swiss rounds because the hall's a lot less busy. So a lot less background noise. So Kev's desperately trying to search for an answer here.
I need to invest in pom-poms.
And we've got Tainted on Varys. That's interesting. So now opens up to a tiers play. Fortunately, he does need an intrigue icon himself to be able to do that. Also, so I'd say a big thank you to the to Darren and Kev for letting me record. Big thank you to everyone on the day who let me record their games. I do appreciate it. It's something I never really take for granted. And thanks to Liam and the guys from Steven for letting me be able to record the games of the day and bring them to you, so we can all, everyone around the world can enjoy this high level competition. So we've got a King's Raid there on Darren's side. We have, what's this, probably Ariane? So it's reduced by 2, paid 3 gold. Yep, Ariane Martel. Very much a linchpin of the deck. So on to Kev. So there's no military icon on the other side. So I guess you're in 2 minds here. Do you go in for military? No, you can kill Chud, but try and get the board down a bit, get the unopposed power, but then probably just going to get stolen back, and it leaves you open to military, or do you just pass? So, because you also kind of want to lose a challenge for the long plan. I think Kev has passed though. I think that was an intrigue.
No reactions to winning.
Unopposed?
Unopposed. Fine.
Got a feeling Darren's long plan isn't really going to pay out much here. And it's Vengeance for Elia. And the Palace Spearman taken for claim, so I wonder if that stops Darren from being able to do a military in return. A Chad power challenge? Maybe not. Both these players being very careful at this stage, and it's completely understandable.
That's chance. 3, 4. Yep.
And they just passed a Dom, so any one challenge in the entire phase. But it does kind of make sense. You don't really want to be funding your opponent's gold, and at the same time, at this point, there's not really much. You can't be so much impactful stuff you can get off with the challenges. I wonder if Darren was expected to have a gold there from the long plan to pay for a Tears of Lease or something. So on to round 2. Darren has chosen his plot nice and early. We're just waiting for Kev. And we have summons into Naval. So Kev has hit, I believe. Yes, he has. So that's no gold there for Darren. He does, though, have... He can still get a 5-cost character out for Martel, and he can get or a 4-cost character out for Greyjoy because of the King's Road. So it's not quite as impactful as it could have been, but that is still going to be quite annoying there for Darren missing out on the 4 gold, especially having no gold over from the long plan.
Martel or 4 Greyjoy.
And picks Nymeria Sand. That's a pretty strong choice.
Last turn, if I'm honest.
Well, no, we'll give you 21 now, below your pound. That way you got the money at the
On the draw up, and I believe Darren is going first.
No gold. But that's fine. Does seem pretty good.
I've been blown out by it before. It hit my mouse and not today, but in store champs. It's just like, oh, what do I do now? Oh well.
To another Blood Orange Grave, so economy is not going to be an issue for Darren in this game. And brings Gaston Grey out. And then sacks off the King's Road, reduces it for the Devil Scavenger for Palace Spearman. So, not bringing Amiri out, but again, as first player, unless he runs into another Vengeance 3D or an entry challenge, Namir is pretty safe in his hand.
I'll play 6 costs worth of stuff anyway.
But yeah, Darren definitely has starting to tighten. I'd say put the pressure on Kevin here. Kevin really needs to see some decent economy, and that's going to be a good start. So we've got King's Road out. Kevin spends a gold and milks Ariane, so that's going to stop Nymeria from seeing play this turn. Now, the only question I had is, would it have been worth to milk Varys? Because then you can start playing your board out with a little bit more ease, I guess. I don't know, because again, I dare say Darren is playing Confiscation with the way that Attachment Hate is currently in the meta.
Good afternoon, Advanced Light Gamers, please be aware that the prize desk will close at 8 o'clock. The prize desk will close at 8
I
o'clock.
really like the early barrier.
It's going to sit on 2 gold.
Please cash in at the prize desk before 8 o'clock. Thank you very much. Cheers. Bye.
No action? Any action? Ouch.
So a power challenge coming in from the reducer. Fully opposed. Oh, I guess down it. Yeah, so Kev does have a power, so I guess that does make sense. You'd not like to be able to win it back unless Ariane and the Palace Spearman nil. But entry coming in from Ariane, which is probably going to be unopposed. And Burnman taken for claim.
The goal for the Burnmen, or was it for vengeance as well?
Darren trying to probe for questions. Was the 2 goal there for the Burnman, or was it something else?
Find out. Military. Alright, you win it.
Hotar defends.
Your challenge. Another Burnman? What is this bullshit?
Another Burnman comes into play, so
Unopposed.
cheeky little military challenge coming back unopposed. I don't know if she. That's interesting. Let's go for the iron fishmongers. I guess this, if he takes the milk off Ariane, that's probably planning to bring most of the Greyjoy characters in, because they're all going to be free. They're all about 5 gold. They're all 5 costs or less. But at the same time, I can't help but think it might be an idea keeping them around for the economy. You already got 2 Blood Groves. Probably nitpicking, really. Probably didn't make too much difference either way, but right knowing it's in his hand, he might not have any Greyjoy characters in his hand.
If I win one of those tokens, I'm always using it forever, just to annoy everyone who never uses a token.
Many people that use it.
Mine.
I've got the best first player token. Go to Waterstones, you can get the little like replica bits. I've got the Hound's mask.
Oh,
It's on a little stand. It's like solid metal as well. So if you can't win first player, you can just club them to death with it.
I did for one tournament. My parents have Lilliput Lane stuff, so I got this big castle of Neuschwanstein. It's about this big, and I had it hidden in my bag. And round 1, my phone was like, "Okay, I'll go first," as in they'll go first. So I went, "Do you have a token?" They're like, "No, of course not." I went, "Okay, I've got one." Just plonked it right in the middle of their table. Yeah, I think that's the right choice. You're gonna have to play someone good eventually.
So just looking at the board state here, he's still got to favour Darren's position. He's 1 up on power, I believe, looking at that. He's got the more economy down, although there is a King's Road, so there can be a big burst there from Kev. But that, between Varys and the and Gaston Grey, there's a lot of control there to stop Kev from being able to A, expand out massively, and B, attack, really. Because you can't attack any good characters. Not that he's really seen any good characters so far. I mean, Hotar's amazing. I love Hotar. He's not really a character you want to be having on the table from the start. So he's not really a character that you want to be relying on because he's first knowable. So if Darren's playing first know, I mean, if Darren's playing first know at this point, Kev's board just disappears.
You played a long winter.
And we had the plots. Calling the banners into calling the banners. So interesting that Darren hasn't
Oh, and
tried getting rid of that milk. Haven't tried getting the milk or the tainted there.
we'll trigger your pot person. What's that?
Kev just doing some running repairs as some sleeves split. As you guys might know if you listen to this, I'm not a massive fan of the
Not if you use
of the Ultra Pro sleeves. I find they tend to split a lot. I pretty much exclusively used Dragon Shield now. I find them about the right price point. You get 100 sleeves, nice range of colours, and I think I've had one split on me so far. In about 8 months using them.
I might do with 7, maybe 10 gold. But Varys is not doing a whole lot.
So 7 gold here for Darren, with three possible reduces, 4 possible. That's all of the Blood Orange Groves. So if whatever Darren wants to play, he can play out. Wonder if we will see Nymeria now. And, oh, I got a Captain's Daughter. Absolutely love this card. And this is going to be a right pain for Kevin. This is where Darren's control really comes in now, because he's got so many ways of getting rid of your characters on the board, of Varys, Captain's Daughter and Gaston Grey. So, what's the Captain's Daughter? The first non-loyal card, I want to say? Yeah, first non-loyal card played. He can sacrifice her to put it back on top of the deck. So, obviously that can be a real dent in your economy. The issue here could be with Kev. If he wants to play out someone like Tyrion, no, Tyrion can just be bounced back to the top of the deck, and that's 5 gold you've wasted. And we do have Nymeria out, and Darren's going to sit on a gold. Darren also gets a Blood Orange Grove. He's still a little bit behind in the Blood Orange Grove stakes.
It was getting a bit out of hand. 30 minutes remaining. So I was just like, I had to. I was trying to do that.
Stop it.
Not tainted, sorry. Condemned on Ariane. Imprisoned on Nymeria. And clearly no characters.
You can carry on marshalling phase like nothing's happened. Okay. 5 gold back, yeah? Yeah. Or cost 5 gold that you might want to play him. Oh, he's already in play, so. How many cards in hand?
Total 3 cards. Yep.
So Ariane now comes in for what has to be an intrigue challenge. There's still no intrigue icons out on Kevin's side. When you ever hear that from Martel, a deck 3 turns into a game where you've lost no characters to
double check that.
Having no characters killed.
I'm not going to go through a tournament and lose due to horrendous mistriggers again. I know that's the new sleeve, and I wish I knew what card was in it.
One way to find out.
So some mind games going on here with Darren saying he knows that's a new sleeve. He wants to see what the card was. It was Tears. Tears of Elise. So unopposed power challenge coming in from the Captain's Daughter. Interesting, Kev didn't try and Please chug block that one.
Some worse this game.
Will we see the Palace Spearman coming from military?
I'm done.
Or will Darren be worried about all the gold sitting on Kevin's side?
I haven't done anything with Nymeria, have I?
No.
I'll take an action. It's your challenges, my action, because it's pre-challenged action. So I know I've said your challenges, but I haven't passed my action. So I'm taking an action.
That seems like a good shot.
So down there, just taking Hotar's military icon.
Pass, I'd agree with you.
She can't have a military icon. Kevin in prison, there we go, corrected. So we've got the Burnmen coming in for military, which Darren initially tried defending with the with Nymeria, who has stolen a military icon, but that puts her back down to 0, so she doesn't have an icon. So the only way you can defend this is with the Palace Spearman, which does leave him open to a power challenge. And Darren is going to defend it. We have 2 Chads coming in for a power challenge, which would be blocked on the Chad. So we are buying a vengeance for Elia. No. So we are sitting at 5-2, which I think after dominance will be 6-2 to Darren.
You win Dom? Any Dom actions?
Oh no, Darren. Sorry, Kevin wins Dom because of all the gold. Missed that a little bit. So that's 5-3.
If you were first player, surely you would have to have any Dom actions.
Yeah, that'll be unopposed.
Huh?
Unless you pass. When you ask him for Dom.
If I ask him for Dom actions and I'm first player, it is an inherent pass, I think. Cards in hand, sorry, 2.
So just a little bit of rule discussion there on Dom. Just waiting, saying if you're offering for Dom actions and you're the first player, does that mean you've actually passed? If you've passed the first window. Something I always double check on. So if I'm the second player and my opponent goes, "You got any dominance actions?" I'd always say, well, I'd always just double check and say, "Yeah, you're first. Do you have any dominance actions?" Because it is definitely something worth doing. Because sometimes if your opponent, it's like we have the Nymeria kind of standoff where the first player of Nymeria passes the challenge action. So sometimes it's beneficial to go, okay, I have no challenge actions then, so Nymeria can't sell an icon. So we now have trading with the Matoshi into Wildfire. And this is probably a good play from Kev, because it's going to be very hard for Darren to want to lead the Captain's Daughter out. Because you not want to kill Varys, you probably not want to kill Nymeria, and you probably not want to kill Ariane, so... Oh, he might be killing Ariane. Or was that the... This is actually a really tough decision here for Darren. Because basically Varys and the Captain's Daughter is what's keeping Kev from being able to play if he has got any big characters. I have a feeling he hasn't seen anything yet. But from being able to play them out. Because Varys could work the board and the Captain's Daughter just chucks any non-loyal cards back to hand. There's not many loyal cards in this, normally in the Martel Lion build. One of the few ones actually on the table already was just Hotar. So it'd be interesting to see which part chokes. So he's going to kill Varys. That's so. He's relying on the Captain's Daughter to do the work. Now, unfortunately for Darren, that does give the icon removal back to Kevin. So he has actually got the complete set there. So with the imprisoned already on Nymeria, so he could actually completely stop Nymeria from being able to do anything, well, except for remove an icon. But she won't be able to participate in a challenge. So this could be a way back in for Kev. But there's a lot of money on Darren's side. I also have a feeling he might be playing close call, so there might be a way of bringing one of those characters back. And that's the card you want to see right now, the Radishut's Raiders, because he knows he's about to get a lot of icons coming, icon removal coming back his way. And he's going to sit on a lot of gold, considering he can play trading.
I've said I'm done, it's fine.
There is...
I shouldn't be done, but...
You've got to wonder if trading for the Pentoshi's on the way out or something. Not trading, sorry, that's the play played. You've got to wonder if he's got a Hotar in hand to ambush him in.
First snow, do it. It'll be good. You've got all your ambush guys.
Good afternoon, gamers. Just so you know, the prize event Sutherland Prize Fest will close in 10 minutes.
Lunge Grove and one for... Huh? So you nailed the Lunge Grove and then paid a gold. I make that out. It's been a very long day for these guys, so I'm not going to criticise too much. But that's a tainted on Ariadne. So is he going to go for the full house?
Yeah, do I want mighty meat?
In some respects, you might as well, because it basically just blanks a character. Yes, you're going to nick still one of your icons, and probably at this point Hotar's military icon, but this worth it. So we've got 3 gold paid for probably the Hound, I'm guessing. Yes, here comes the Hound. Does the Captain's Daughter want to pop? Yeah, Captain's Daughter's going to chuck the Hound back to the top of the deck. It's probably a good play at this point because you got to think as Darren, Kev has not seen many characters. It could be worthwhile to oh, and here comes Tyrion. So having said all that, you probably better wait for Tyrion. But with the Hound out, you're looking at all that gold. He's not seen many characters. You got to think, is it worth just putting the Hound back on top? Because with all that gold, he's going to keep jumping back in. Or not keep jumping, maybe he'll jump in a couple of times. And then we've got the complete set on Nymeria.
She has -1 on everything.
So I think that's the first time I've ever seen a character with -1 of every icon.
She got 1 gold left, yeah.
So yeah, so
Power.
so we've got Power Spearman coming for Power Challenge. That seems a pretty strong choice here because I don't think Kev's going to want to kneel Tyrion to defend this, so it's probably going to go unopposed. And it does, so it's 2 more power for Darren.
Take his military. Now I'm up to 0 military. Any action? Military.
So, military icon taken off Hotar. The Radishut's Raiders come in for a challenge.
Reaction to winning. Discard the...
That goes unopposed. So which of the many attachments is he going to take off?
That's the military one. Unopposed. Claim.
So that was taking the imprisoned off.
Your chances.
And passes, so obviously now he can defend a military challenge. You imagine that Darren's just going to keep chipping away at those that icon removal. I still don't know what the gold saved for. So if Tyrion goes in for challenge here, I'm imagining that Kevin's got a treachery.
been a great game. Yeah. Well, I made a misplay. He's been offside on it. If I'd have kept the goal, I could have seen in flames.
So 2 gold there from Tyrion. They're going for an intrigue challenge.
In fairness, I was sitting here. Oh yeah, stealth. Doesn't matter really.
No, we'll still hope.
In case I can give her 2 intrigue icons.
Yeah.
So it's having a discussion there. She's stealthing Nymeria, but unless there's a way of Darren giving her 2 intrigue icons, this is going to go unopposed. So it's unopposed. Any reactions to losing at the moment? Yep, Gaston Grey. And, ooh. So Gaston Grey moving out to hand, but then a Tears of Lys come in to kill Nymeria.
She does have an assuming you want playing.
I would like.
So Kev is starting to get back into this game now. He is still losing 8-2. Going to be 8-3 because I think he's going to... Oh no, he might not have dominance because of all that gold Darren's got.
How much do you have? 5, 6. Yeah.
So dominance to Kev. So we're currently sitting 8-3. We know Kev's obviously got some good characters in hand. He's still got a lot of icon removal. It's just whether he better afford to get out Tyrion next turn. It's going to be the question. I was half expecting him to have a treachery in hand after going in with Tyrion on the intrigue, but clearly he didn't.
Cards in hand? 4.
So we've got Wildfire into March. And this game after quite a dominant start by Darren, as Kev has really fought his way back into this and taken the Palace Spearman. That is a brave choice. But I guess his theory is if Kevin doesn't see many characters, he can at least the Radishev's Raiders at least can't have their icon blanked. Kev's made Darren go first. I think I might have gone first, just to try and leverage the advantage you've got with by putting him down to only one character. That's just me, just trying to put the pressure on. I could be wrong, but that's my gut feeling. But those and another Gaston Grey. That is not what Kev wants to see right now. And an Iron Mines. So yeah, if he had gone first like I thought, it wouldn't have done much, unfortunately. So Kev, who looked like he'd really got back into that with 2 cards going down, now looks like he's back to kind of square one. So we've got Blood Orange Grove, Knelt. And you see the power icon removed on the Desert Scavenger. A Desert Scavenger of his own played out, and the Hound back into play. So over to Darren right now. Now the Hound's brilliant at this point because he can chuck him on the attack, and you don't really care if he gets Gastoned. So military coming in. I imagine Hotar's going to defend. Yes, he is. So Kev's going to do a Chud Power challenge, I'd imagine. Yep. That is unopposed. So, is the Hound going to come in for military? Cause I think I would, because what's the worst that can happen? What's the worst that's going to happen? He's going to chuck him back to toppy deck, he'll draw him again next turn. But if he doesn't go in for the challenge now, he does win dominance. So basically the option is you gain both of you gain a power, or just you gain a power. No, the Hound's going to come in for the military. He's going to be unopposed. Will he use the Iron Mines to keep alive? On the character, or is this going to be a vengeance for Elia? Iron Mine saves the Devil Scavenger. The Hound comes back to hand. And then dominance goes to Darren. So we're currently sitting at 8-6. So I think that was the right play there, because it's the Hound. Yes, he's the Iron Mines, but that's the Iron Mines gone now, so if he gets tears off later on, that's not going to make a difference.
Kevin and Hank Martel.
Kevin just saying he hates Martel. Not Kevin, sorry, Darren saying he hates Martel. Now, it's also quite an interesting Martel matchup, because Darren doesn't run any of the icon removal bar Nymeria. And I don't know, I really love the icon removal. Basically looking at a character and going, yeah, you can't do, like Jamie, I've basically milked you and you can't do a miniature challenge. So we've got Confiscation, which is going to confiscate his own Condemned, which is annoying, but he's probably just trying to get out of the way before he puts something else down, I guess. And we've got Close Call. So someone is coming back from the dead. Ariane is coming back from the dead. So Dan gets to draw an extra card for that as well. I didn't quite catch going first. I imagine it is Darren going first. Yes, it is. So Neil's Devil Scavenger for Devil Scavenger. And I assume it's going to be Ariane coming into play. Oh, maybe not yet.
I was waiting to see. I drew last turn. I was like, right, well, I guess I know who's getting who had a bit of a close call.
Darren saying he drew a last turn, so that's why he. So he knew he was going to be close calling. It does make sense. It's a very useful plot, but generally it's kind of a reaction plot, because you'd say you do need to kind of see the other card in your hand to make it worthwhile. So we've got Nymeria Sand out. And a Tainted played on Ariane. So that is interesting, because they have still got the Ratchet's Raiders out. And he's going to Nightmares Nymeria. So he's got the Ratchet Raiders out. So though Hotar can defend the military challenge, he can't win the military challenge. So we've got Chud Power Challenge. Does make sense, because gives Kevin the option. If he defends with the Desert Scavenger, he's still going to lose. But if he doesn't defend and he attacks Desert Scavenger, then Ariane is going to win. So just kind of almost guaranteed power advantage there for Darren. I've got to be honest, after the first 10 minutes of this game, I did not think this game was going to be that interesting. And Kevin has fought his way back into this brilliantly. So Ariane's coming back to hand. And that's the other problem, I think, with... I think that's the other problem with sorry, I'm remembering if I think that was the other problem with putting the Tainted on her, is the fact that she can bounce back to hand and lose it, so you're not really getting anything. Milk's the only one that really stops her. But anyway, we've got a massive military challenge coming in here, which I'm trying to wonder why he didn't need both of them. Because he can't have put to the sword, and as the only character with the icon removals jumped back to the board and lost the icon removal anyway. So didn't quite get that one, but fair enough. But anyway, and Asher stands, and Desert Scavengers are going to be taking this claim. Or are they? A bit of a sigh there from Kev. I think he's done really well here, but again, I think he's starting to run out of options. Personally, I think has got a bit of Desert Scavenger. It's going to be short-term pain. You can't defend the power challenge anyway, but maybe he's trying to think about winning the power challenge. On the way back now, think about now Ariane's not there. He could win, but no, he does take the Desert Scavenger. So Asher's going to come in for an unopposed power challenge. I do love Asher. She is such an amazing card. That's 2 more power for Darren. And it's passed. So we have Hotel coming in for military. It's a little bit risky because Darren could gassing him here then, get down to 1 character. I don't know, I can't remember if Darren's playing March or not, but if he is, that does seem a bit risky. But no, Darren's not gonna Gaston. Interesting. And now we're currently sitting at 12-6 on power, so that was a really critical turn there for Darren. So on to plot 7, and it is marched. So I march into first snow. So I think I probably would have probably should have thought about gasning that last turn. And now the board will be wiped, so you'd have no opposing characters. First snow's not. I don't think it's going to have much of an impact here for Kev. I think obviously that's a plot he's not been able to play himself for a while, because it's going to be more detrimental than good. And I think at this stage, Darren has the board, the economy on the table to just play out anything he wants. And we know he's got Ariane in hand. Oh, so he's going to use a Green Trade to try and draw into a card. So one of the reasons that Martel can be quite aggressive with First Snow, play the Green Blood Traders out, and then bring them back to hand with First Snow to play them out again to get even better card draw. It looks like a difficult choice there for Darren. Whenever I do it, I seem to get the same 2 cards. Which is always annoying when it's a character and you see the dupe going all the way to the bottom. And we've got a milk on Nymeria, and that has, if it wasn't game before, I think that probably makes it game now. So we've got the King's Road, the Blood Orange Grove, King's Road, sorry, Blood Orange Grove, and gold paid out to get Ariane out. Darren sits on 2 gold, and a little bit late for the race red, I'm afraid, Kev.
Oh, you played the Rose Road just now. Okay, cool. I just looked up and went, "You've got Rose Road." What's it?
So Kev removes an icon, and that's it. And at this point, that's First Snow puts the Green Blood Trader back to hand. You got to think that's got to be game at this point. Tainted on Ariane's also not pointless because the Ranashirt's Raiders can just take it off in the first military. So we've got Power Challenge coming in. I think at this point, guys, we can say it's well played there by both players. Well done for getting to the top 8, Kevin. Darren's played very well as well, and thank you very much for watching as Kevin concedes. So well played both players. Thank you everyone for watching, and we'll catch you on the next game.